So L-asparginase is an enzyme. Basically, it is isolated from the E. coli, and that cause the catabolic depletion of the serum aspargine to aspartic acid and ammonia, and that is ultimately result into the blood glutamine level that would be reduced, and ultimately it inhibit the protein synthesis, and basically used to treat the childhood acute leukemia, and it also cause the anaphylactic shock. Next is hydroxyurea. It is an analog of the urea, inhibit the ribonucleotide reductase enzymes. So this is called ribonucleotide reductase enzyme. Hydroxyurea inhibit this enzyme, which is required to convert ribonucleotide to deoxyribonucleotide, and that is required for the DNA synthesis. So hydroxyurea ultimately stop the conversion of the ribonucleotide to deoxyribonucleotides, and it is called S phase specific agents and used to treat melanoma and chronic myelogenous leukemia. Mitoxantrons are having a structural resemble with the anthracycline kind of antibiotics, which bind to the DNA and produce the strand breakage, and which inhibit the DNA and RNA synthesis. So it is a basic mechanism which inhibit the DNA and RNA synthesis by bind with the DNA to produce the strand breakage, and usually treat to pediatric and adult acute myelogenous leukemia, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, breast cancer, and the main side effect is cardiac toxicities. Next is a glucocorticoids or hormonal drug as anti-cancer. So for that drugs use are prednisolone and other. So glucocorticoids such as prednisolone and dexamethasone have a marked inhibitory effect on lymphocyte proliferations. It is used in treatment of the leukemias and lymphomas, and their ability to lower the raise intracranial pressures to mitigate some of the side effect of anti-cancer drug make them a useful supportive therapy. In glucocorticoid, dexamethasone, hydroxycortisone, methylprednisolone, prednisolone, and prednisones are generally used. Next is a estrogen. It is a physiological antagonist of androgen, and thus it is used to antagonize the effect of the androgen in androgen dependent prostatic cancers, and agonist, and this kind of agent generally used to treat the prostate cancer through the suppression of the testosterone productions. So two agents, diethylstilbestrol and ethinyl estradiol, are the two estrogen used clinically in palliative treatment of the androgen dependent prostatic tumors, and these compound having a fewer side effect, and these tumor are also treated with the gonadotropin releasing hormone analog due to such kind of side effect. Next is a selective estrogen receptor modulator. The drug are tamoxifen and tormifen. So tamoxifen, it is a basically non-steroidal anti-androgen. So tamoxifen, which is bind with the estrogen receptors, and it having a both kind of activity on breast and blood vessel. It having antagonist effect, and uterus, bone, liver, and pituitary tissue. It having the agonist effect. That's why it is called estrogen receptor modulators. So these having a both effect, as I said, estrogenic as well as the anti-estrogenic effect on various tissue. So tamoxifen bind with the estrogen receptor and induce the conformational changes in the receptor, and hence anti-estrogenic effect on breast tissue, and its ability to produce the both estrogenic and anti-estrogenic effect is most likely due to the interaction of the other co-activators and co-repressors in the tissue, and the binding with the different estrogen receptor. It may be estrogen alpha as well as the beta, and subsequently to tamoxifen estrogen receptor binding expression of the estrogen dependent gene is block and alter. So this is a probable mechanisms, and that may result into the decreased estrogenic responses, and that is required in case of the breast cancer, and most of the tamoxifen effects occur in the G1 phase of the cell cycle. Now, as I said, that it is used in primary therapy for metastatic breast cancer in men as well as the postmenopausal woman. It is also used in patients with the estrogen receptor positive tumors are more likely to respond to tamoxifen therapy, while the use of tamoxifen in women with estrogen receptor negative tumor is still investigational, and basically it is used or when it is used prophylactically, tamoxifen has been shown to decrease the incidence of the breast cancer in women who are at the high risk of the developing disease. So nowadays it is used in breast cancers. Now selective estrogen receptor down regulator. So tamoxifen is a modulator. This is a down regulator. So drug is fulvestrant. It is a pure estrogen receptor antagonist used in metastatic estrogen positive breast cancer in postmenopausal women, and it inhibit the estrogen receptor dimerization and prevent the interaction of the estrogen receptor with the DNA. This is a basic mechanism of fulvestrant, and estrogen receptor is down regulated, resulting in the more complete suppression of the estrogen responsive gene functions. Next is aromatase inhibitor. So aromatase is an enzyme that is responsible for androstenedione to estrogens. Okay, androsten to estrogen hormone production. So there are various drugs are used. First generation like aminoglutathione, second generation formestin, fedrozole, roglitimides. So formestin is a steroid analogs. Third generation like exemestane, which is a steroid analogs. Letrozole and estrazoles are the non-steroidal aromatase inhibitors. So basically, this kind of drugs are used in breast cancer as well as the ovarian cancers. And aromatase inhibitor either block the production of the estrogen or block the action of estrogen on the receptor. So this is how aromatase are act. So this is androstenedione. So by using aromatase, it is converted into the estrone. Androstenedione by using 17 keto reductase, which is converted into the testosterone, and testosterone, which is used by aromatase to convert into the estradiol. This is how androgen to estrogens are produced. So drugs which inhibit these aromatase enzymes, so ultimately estrogens are not produced or its production is blocked. Next is a flutamide, which is called anti-androgens, or you can say androgen antagonist. So first discovered in 1960 to prevent the androgen from the expressing their biological effect on responsive tissues. Anti-androgen alter the androgen pathway by blocking appropriate receptor and competing for the binding site on cell surface and affect the androgen productions. And basically these kind of drugs are used in prostate cancer. Next is 5-alpha reductase inhibitors like finasteride and dutasteride. So finasteride is a orally active drugs that decrease the dihydrotestosterone level, which is basically used in benign prostatic hyperplasia, that decrease the prostate volume, decrease the symptom score, and increase the peak urination flow rate, and decrease the dihydrotestosterone level, which is also used in the prevention of the hair loss. So nowadays it is also used in hair growth treatment. Next is gonadotropin releasing analogs like nefarelin, leuprolin, and triptorelin. So nefarelin nasal spray as well as the subcutaneous injections are available that decrease the FSH and LH release. Luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormones from the pituitary gland ultimately decrease the release of estrogen and testosterone, and basically used in breast cancer and prostatic cancer. Next is a progestin, which is a medroxyprogesterone acetate, hydroxyprogesterone caproate, and megestrol, and which is used as a second line hormonal therapy for metastatic hormone dependent breast cancer and endometrial cancer. And hydroxyprogesterone generally used in metastatic endometrial cancer, and adverse effect that is bleeding. And last is gonadotropin releasing antagonists like cetorelix, ganirelix, and abarelix. So all are the antagonists of gonadotropin releasing hormone and decrease the release of the gonadotropin without causing the initial stimulations, can be used in prostatic cancer without risk of the flare-up reaction. So this is some hormonal product or hormones which are act as a anti-cancer agents.